Good.
Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yep, welcome to the show. We're gonna see if anybody else is joining us. Give me just a moment. We have an interesting topic today. Oh Lord,
This is a comfy blanket. It's amazing.
that has nothing to do with the topic today.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Leave it to Zach to be the comedian of the hour.
There should be a bu- burrito name blanket.
The randomosity of it all is crazy.
Yeah.
Is that even a word?
Randomosity? I don't think so.
Randomosity.
Is that a word?
I just made it up.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, there you go. So,
Okay. All right. So, um, y'all know I like to start on time, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it.
late
Um,
folks, huh?
yeah, but they'll get here when they get here. Let me get the chat going. There was an update on Zoom, and I'm trying to find out where everything is. And I hate when they do that because it's not like when they do it, they give us a training manual on how to, you know,
Fix it.
how to navigate the new stuff.
Mm,
Mm.
But um,
crazy.
but we gonna work that thing out. All right, let's see. Perfect. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. Whoever joins, joins. But I want to welcome you guys to our wellness webinar coaching on nutrition for fat loss without starving. As I sip some of my wonderful coffee. Um, I don't know why it blurred my background. I didn't ask it to. But who cares? Whatever. So I am excited that you're here. I hope we have. Oh, there's somebody joining. I'm glad I stalled a little bit. We got Miss Kathy in the room.
Hey, Miss Kathy.
Hey, Miss Kathy. I'm gonna let her get her sound together. But I'm super excited you're here. We're gonna be focusing on. Hey, Miss Kathy.
Hi,
Hello.
How you doing today?
pretty good.
That's good. I can handle pretty good. um, so today we're going to focus on nutrition because if there is one area that people struggle with the most during a fitness journey, it's food.
Mm.
Okay? It is food. I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time and I have heard things from I want to join your program, but I don't want to stop eating this, to do I have to give up this, or I don't want to eat super strict, or I want to still be able to season my food. I don't know who made people think that you can't season your food, but that's beyond the truth. Either way,
Peppered?
a lot of people believe that fat loss requires extreme dieting, skipping meals, cutting out entire food groups, or feeling hungry all the time. Why that is, I have no idea at all. I don't know why that is. But it's a thing. It is definitely a thing. So,
Your grandma.
hey, Mama Francis.
Grandmother.
So the truth of the matter is fat loss should never feel like starvation. I'm gonna say that one more time. Fat loss should never feel like starvation. Um, Despite popular belief, you don't need to starve yourself to lose weight
Yeah.
because the minute you start eating again, you're going to gain weight because you shouldn't be starving in the first place. It's not normal, it's not sustainable, right?
Mm.
So, sustainable fat loss actually comes from balanced nutrition, smart habits, and consistency, not restriction. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, today we're going to talk about how to structure your nutrition for fat loss, why starving yourself actually slows down your progress, and how to eat enough food while still losing fat. Also, how to refocus your nutrition habits moving forward. Ooh, I'm loving the haircut, mama. You look so pretty. I love when you get your
Thank
hair
you.
cut. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up. But yeah, that's what we're gonna focus on today. So before we dive in, for any of you who might be watching this in the group who've never been here before, here's a little bit about me or anyone who may watch it back on the replay. I, Chiquita, aka Sassy Fit, am a certified weight loss specialist, health, fitness, and nutrition coach. I'm a military veteran. I served 10 years in the Air Force, and I'm a nationally qualified bodybuilding competitor. I also did that sport for 10 years. But more importantly, I'm here to guide and support you as you build habits that help you reach your goals sustainably. I have been doing this for several years, and I'm here to tell you that this journey is not about punishment. It is about learning how to fuel your body properly so it can perform, recover, and change. Okay? So, y'all know I love to start with an icebreaker, so let's do it. I would love to know, what is the biggest challenge you face when it comes to nutrition? Don't all answer at once because I know we all got something. What's the biggest challenge? And I'll give you some examples if you're having a struggle thinking. Is it cravings, portion control, eating late at night, emotional eating, not knowing what to eat, or feeling hungry while dieting? There are no wrong answers, and this is a judgment-free space. You cannot learn if you don't share, so that I can help you navigate those things and debunk those myths.
I believe mine is fighting with the fats. And it's not that I necessarily choose fatty foods, but just getting that balance where I'm not going over.
Got you. So when your fat macros are going over, what do you find, what are you eating that you find is making that go over?
Well, sometimes when you want that snack that you enjoy, like nuts, or peanut butter or something like that,
Okay.
while they're healthy, they can still send you
Yeah,
in the fat
overconsumption.
area.
Okay. Well, my rule of thumb for that is, if you happen to have a taste for some nuts or something like that, you have to monitor the other foods that you eat during the day. So if you decide you want nuts today, I would recommend for your meats to keep them lean, like fish and chicken, because those have less fat in it. And the Greek yogurt. If you want peanut butter, same thing. If you have salmon for lunch, don't have salmon for dinner, because that can send you over on your fats. Even though, like you said, those are healthy fats, it can send you over. If you like avocado, if you have an avocado, keep the rest of your proteins lean for the day, or monitor how much of it you eat. If you do eat nuts, limit the amount of nuts that you eat to a handful or 1 ounce. If you're eating more than a hand, I see you laughing, Miss Kathy. Because you eat more than that, don't you?
No, it's just, what is a handful?
Your hand. A handful is your hand. So if you eat a handful of nuts is a lot less than the entire can. And it doesn't matter how small the can is not one handful. Whatever the size of your hand is. And the reason I say handful, because everyone's body is different. You might have somebody who's 6'5", whose hands are much bigger than mine. Their handful is gonna be bigger than my handful. So I'm not saying 2, 3 handfuls. I said one, or 1 ounce. So if you measuring your nuts and on a scale or something, 1 ounce or one handful. But you shouldn't be eating, because nuts are high in fat and they're good for you, but you don't want to eat too many of them and then it sends you over on your fats. You know what I mean? And it's gonna happen from time to time, but I'm just helping you with the portion control. Don't overthink it. Just one handful. And measure it as one. If you're tracking your foods, track it as 1 ounce or one handful. If you're doing the hand cup measurements, do that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And if you eat peanut butter, don't eat no more than 2 tablespoons. And I know for our peanut butter lovers out there that is very hard to do. But if
Yeah.
you struggle with that, then spread it on top of something, whether it's toast, rice cake, or something. But don't just, or get the little serving size cups. They have them on the peanut butter aisle. I had to do that for my husband because when I tell you my husband loves peanut butter, and I have to limit his I'm like, babe, what are you doing? I mean, whopping scoop. I don't like peanut butter. Like, I like peanut butter, but not like that. That would make me gag. It really would make me gag. That is a lot. And even when I was doing bodybuilding competitions and my coach would tell me I could have 2 tablespoons, I would only eat one because I don't need 2. Like, one is enough for me. But there were some coaches who told me that certain clients, they couldn't put peanut butter in their meal plan because they know they had zero self-control. Greg is one of those people who cannot have peanut butter in his meal plan because he will eat it all and just ruin his results. So what I did was I went to Publix. I like Publix. I don't like Walmart. The customer service sucks. It's ghetto. Whoever like Walmart, it's no knock against you. It's a knock against Walmart. I don't like Walmart. So I go inside Publix and it's on the peanut butter aisle where the bread is, and they have the packets of the Jif peanut butter in the little cups, and you just get one. That's the serving size. If you struggle with portion control, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Make sense? So it's still that it boils down to portion control. If you're eating the right things but your portions are too big, you're defeating the purpose. Because no matter how healthy you eat or how good of food choices you choose, if your portion controls are out of whack, you're defeating the purpose of eating healthy because now you're over consuming unhealthy foods. Does that make sense? And then people who say, well, I don't eat that much, but they eat like junk all the time, but they don't eat that much, it doesn't matter because you're only eating junk. So it's like not benefiting you either way. So you just want to make sure that your choices are good and that your portions are proper. And I'll put it, I'll post it again if I need to, but I did put together a portion control guide, and I'll also share it in the group where you can know exactly, without having to track macros, how your portion should be, how much chicken you should eat, how much fish you should eat, what your plate should look like. So I'm going to make a note for myself right now to post the portion control guide. Portion control guide. Post in, and Zach, we're not playing music right now. So so
The sauce stick in my head.
I will make sure that I put that in there for you guys as a reference as well, and hopefully that will, be a good resource for you. But thank you so much for sharing. Did you have any other challenges with nutrition that you wanted to unpack before I give the others the floor?
Uh,
Or did I answer your question with the fat
yeah,
though?
you answered it. You
Okay.
answered it. It's and it goes all goes into planning, kind of in advance.
Do
Whether you're
you
going to
meal prep,
indulge in,
Mama? Do you meal prep?
yeah, I do, but not as much as I should. I know the days when I mess up, I said, "Boy, I didn't plan that."
You just
At the
gotta,
end of,
the
at the
key.
end of the day, it's like it's nothing I can do to fix it. All right, you didn't plan, so
Well, the thing is, the so the biggest thing is you have to choose the day that's your least busiest. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about the day where maybe you don't have to work or you're off or something. It's a day where it doesn't feel like stress to take an hour out of your day to plan. If you can take an hour out of your day to work out, you can take an hour out of your day to plan your meals. And what I do, for instance, Sunday was going to be a busy day for me, and that's usually my day to meal prep. But I knew because of what I had to do Sunday that it was going to be too much on me. Like, I could have still done it, but I don't want to be tired on a Sunday. That's a day to relax, right? So I decided Saturday, I don't really have a lot going on until later in the evening. So I said, I looked in my freezer, I saw what meat I had or what I needed. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and grab what protein I want for this week. There's a plethora of rice, you can never have too much rice. And I have a taste for mashed potatoes this week, so I'm gonna make some homemade mashed potatoes. So what I did is I took my meat out. I always take my meat out the night before that I plan to cook it. So I took it out on Friday night, which was different because I typically take it out Saturday night for Sunday, but because I knew what my schedule was, I took it out on Friday night, and I put the fish in the fridge because that don't take no time to thaw, and then I sat the chicken and the ground turkey in the sink to thaw out overnight, and then when Saturday morning came, I went and ran my errands, came back home. And as soon as I got in the house, I started my meal prep, and I was done. And it's like when I'm done, it's like a big weight lifted off of me. And because I have a family, I make enough that will also be for dinner, so I'm not cooking again. So I made extra mashed potatoes, I made extra beef, extra chicken, and that way I had enough for meal prep and then leftovers for dinner for the boys to eat and my husband and stuff like that. So that's how I do it, and it's because it takes the guesswork out of it. I don't like, and I always make sure, one thing I keep in my house as a staple is Greek yogurt. I can never have enough Greek yogurt, because if worst case scenario, if I'm running out of the house and I don't have time to fix anything, it's nothing to grab a cup of Greek yogurt and a spoon and be on my way, and I have something in my stomach while I go do what it is I need to do until I can get back and have a full meal. Protein shakes, another one. It's nothing for me to grab a protein shake and run out the door if that's the kind of day that I'm having. But the meals that I want to sit down and eat, like my lunch and my dinner, those are prepped. Breakfast I don't need to prep because it's nothing for me to make some oatmeal or some eggs in the morning, and I'm not eating reheated eggs. That's disgusting to me. I tried it, I would never do it again. But that's how I prep. All you need is one day. And I know on Fridays we typically have our treat meal on Friday night. So I just make Monday through Friday dinner. That's all I prep is my dinner, because I'm home to fix lunch. But for people who aren't home, they can prep their lunch because they might come home and cook. Or if they don't want to cook, they can prep their lunch and their dinner. So that's how I do it. And it doesn't have to be right. Like some days I'm like, okay, I don't feel like doing anything big today. I'm going to use my air fryer. I'll pop my broccoli in the air fryer. Rice don't take no time to cook. I'll prop my fish in there, and then my meal prep is done. So you just make it as simple as need to be, just so you have, and if you are one that likes sandwiches, make sure you have enough wraps for the week. Go get your wraps. Go get your roast. I like roast beef. Go get your roast beef and your lettuce or whatever, and that way when you're ready to eat, you can make your wraps. Some people like to make their wraps ahead. I don't, because I don't like my stuff getting soggy. But whatever works for you, you just have to find that one day and get it done. And that's another part of pouring into yourself. Like I said, if you can take 30 minutes to an hour to work out, you can take 30 minutes to an hour to prep food. And it doesn't have to be a gourmet meal. So you just have to find that day and find a day you can be consistent with, because then it's easier to do it. Life happens, so you might have to change your day on a week or so, like I had to do this past week. But all the other weeks is always on Sunday. We do our Bible study. Right after Bible study, I'm washing my hands. I'm in the kitchen cooking, because once I'm up, I want to get it done. Because once I sit down, I don't want to get up and do nothing else. That's my relaxed time. But that's what works for me. You have to find what works for you, because this is your schedule, your life, and you have to find what works for you. And it doesn't have to, I feel like a lot of times we overthink ourselves out of doing what we need to do, because we think about maybe the process it takes to get it done. And by all the thinking that we're doing could have been the time that we was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to be like, you know what? I know I need to get this done. I don't want to be in a situation where, yeah, just be like Nike and just do it. You just have to do it. Because the more you think about it, the more you can think yourself out of it. Everybody does it. You think about something too long, you'll find reasons why you don't need to do it. And it could be because of fear. It could be because you really don't, it's not something you like to do. But to really make change, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because everything that requires growth requires some bit of discomfort in order to actually grow.
Let her cook, guys. Oh my goodness.
Does that make sense? Type what in the chat if that makes sense to y'all.
Type
If
what in the
that
chat?
resonates. One.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, one.
Everything that
one.
requires growth is going to be uncomfortable in some shape, form, or fashion. As long as I have been a coach, as long as I've been a coach, as long as I've been a competitor, an athlete, a mom, everything in my life, I would not have been able to grow to where I am today without a bit of discomfort. Working out is still uncomfortable. And the older you get, it doesn't get less uncomfortable. But I read something really profound today. And it said, when you train in your 40s and 50s, you're no longer training for what you look like in your 20s. You're training for longevity as you age. Does that make sense? You're training for longevity as you age. And I want to get it exactly. I can't be messing it up. So let me help y'all out real quick. It says, oops. I guess that was it. And then the other one was, if you're worried about the cost of going for it, that thing that's uncomfortable, then you should see the price of staying exactly where you are.
That's the bar.
I'm going to say that one more time. If you're worried about the cost of going for it, making that change, prepping those meals, eating that one handful instead of 2 and 3 handfuls of the nuts, if you are worried about the cost of going for it, you should see the price of staying exactly where you are. And that's why I oftentimes say choose your heart. Do you want your heart to be, like Mama Francis said on another call before, always having your life revolve around appointments to the doctors? Or would you like that freedom of being able to work out because you're able to work out, and you can live longer and be healthier and not get sick as much? I'm gonna say personally, I don't like being sick. I don't like being mentally sick. I don't like being physically sick.
I don't either.
So I'm going to do what I need to do to try to get sick as little as possible. It's not going to not ever happen. But when it does happen, you'll bounce back faster than the person who's not healthy, because you take care of yourself. You take your vitamins. You eat your greens. You eat your antioxidants and your fruit and vegetables and your protein. Is this making sense, y'all?
Yes, it
Any
is.
Mm-hmm.
anybody else have want to share a challenge that they face when it comes to nutrition?
I have a challenge.
What's that?
Eating more food. Yeah.
Yeah, eating enough. And that's a common challenge as well, especially with women, because they've not eaten enough for so many years that they're afraid to eat because they're like, wait a minute, why do I have all these calories when I'm supposed to be losing weight? Shouldn't my calories be lower? No, that's why your metabolism is slower. Lower equals slower.
I have a friend for that one.
So you have to feed your body, because what your body is essentially saying is, I'm gonna hold on to this fat because I don't know when I'm gonna get fed again. But when you start eating regularly, your body's like, oh, okay, I can relax. I can process this food and use it for what it's supposed to be used for. And your meal, and also a lot of people who struggle with eating enough is because when they do eat, their portions are too big. So if your portions are too big, your body is not going to break it down in ample enough time for you to be hungry to eat again. And then, depending on the nature of the foods you're eating, if it's high in sugar, high in refined sugars, high in flour and all the processed things, it's going to make you tired. It's going to make you feel stuffed for longer, and you're not going to have energy. And then your appetite is not going to be, you're not going to be hungry because you stuffed up on the wrong thing. Take, for instance, someone who goes to a buffet and they eat 3 plates of food. I've seen people eat more than that, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm grossed out when I see it. That's why I don't like to go to buffets, even though when I do go, I only have 1 plate. It grosses me out to go to buffets and see people eat several plates of food, and say I'm full after the first one and still go get 2 more full ones and eat it. And I'm like, where is the food going? So you take somebody like that who is accustomed to eating that much food in one sitting, right? You think they're going to be hungry to eat in the next 3 hours?
No.
No. They ate enough for a whole day or more.
A lot of people, I think, are trying to make sure they get their money's worth when they do that.
Right.
And that's a horrible way of thinking, I
Yeah.
think. Because you don't spend that much money at a buffet.
Yeah.
If you go sit down at a restaurant where you get 1 plate, you spending way more money than you do at a buffet. So I'm getting my money's worth. That's a horrible excuse to eat like that. And they probably too feel like it's so many options and I can't take anything home with me.
Yeah.
You can't take
But you
food from
just
a
need
buffet. I
to
know.
eat till you're satisfied. Because, and I'm just gonna throw a number out there. I think buffets probably cost like maybe $14.99 for an all-you-can-eat buffet, maybe a little bit
Well,
more.
they're more than that now.
More than that, that's
Well,
the
I
noonday
promise you.
special.
But if you go to a place that actually has 1 plate of food with real food, you're gonna spend like $30-$40 on 1 plate.
Right.
So are you really getting your money's worth out of whatever it costs and a drink? I'm sorry, my money's worth is on my body, not on some food that I'm gonna stuff in it. It's just a very unhealthy way of eating. And, growing up, going to a lot of buffets, like at family reunions and stuff like that, and I would be the one that got teased, like, that's all you eating? And I would be like, the things that's going up here, I dare not say. But I'm looking at their plate like, why you worried about my plate? And then I look at them and I'm like, and a lot of times family members will say things like, you need some meat on your bones, or, make you feel bad because you're not eating the way they are. But I don't want to look like that. You know what I mean?
Just that.
So, huh? Oh, to you?
You were saying that about about me, and then I remember him saying that about Zach too.
Who?
I
Who
remember
said
her.
that?
I said she was saying that about me, and then I remember her saying that about Zach too.
Who, Grandma Church?
Hmm.
Oh, that sounds. That's
Anyway, we don't worry about family members who hate on our size because we eat healthy and say we need meat on our bones. But that's inevitable. It happens. That a lot of family members do it because they don't know no better. Just like the family members that tell you, you it's bad to eat protein and something gonna happen to you if you eat too much protein. There's no such thing. Too much junk food, absolutely. So to answer your question, Zach, you have to be mindful of the portions you eat. If you're hungry, you eat a decent portion of food, you hydrate, and then a couple hours or 3 hours later, you should be ready to eat again. Because you shouldn't be going more than 4 hours without eating. And if you're not hungry, that means your metabolism is not fast. And also, exercise helps boost your metabolism. If you're not exercising, that can be another thing that is the reason why your metabolism or contributing to your metabolism being slow. So you need to be more active, be mindful of the amount of sweet treats and things that you stuff up on, and eat more things that's going to benefit you and your health. It's okay to enjoy things. You know, I enjoy things, but you have to be mindful of the amount and how often. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, this is a good
Man.
icebreaker. We ain't moved past
You
yet.
know,
All right.
if you don't mind me saying,
Yeah.
complimenting, I remember my first husband used to take me to Golden Corral,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed their salad bar because they had a nice variety and they had the salad cut up. I like my lettuce cut up.
Cut up.
And
Mm-hmm.
was I would go get my salad first. I pile up my plate with salad and eat my salad and pick up the little things that I want, you know, to go on top of it
Mm-hmm.
and and enjoy it before I go and get my protein, which I would later, but I just kind of filled up on the salad. And he told me one time, said, if I had known that I was bringing you to just eat a salad, he thought it was ridiculous for him to pay for a buffet and I eat a salad. I'm like, this is
You
the
eat
way I
what you
eat.
want at a buffet. And that's what I'm saying. That's the
And it keeps you
mindset.
from indulging on all those starches and
Mm-hmm.
carbs and overloading on the other stuff, you
On the
know?
sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's your buffet. You eat what you want to eat. You know? And really and truly, he's saving money by taking you to a buffet to get salad versus going to Ale House. I mean, what's the place? The high end restaurants. Their salad's gonna cost more than that just
Mhm.
for one salad.
And some of them have a lot of calories. I look at how many calories they can say a salad can have in it. But see, if I
It's
make
the
my own
dressing,
salad, I can be selective about what I put on because I am watching my calories.
right? And a lot of those salads that are very high in the calories that comes from the dressing.
Right, the dressing.
Yep. That people and I, a lot of times when people tell me, and it's inevitable. Like when I'm trying to get to know a person before I take them on as a client, and I ask them, what types of foods do they eat. It's inevitable. Oh, I eat salads. They're quick to try to tell me the good things they eat,
Mhm,
but I'm like,
mhm,
what else do you eat? Because you didn't, the salads didn't do this to you. So what else do you eat? Or what do you not eat? Or what
mhm,
are you making dessert salads? Because
mhm,
a lot of time that's why I have clients send me pictures when they first sign up with me so I can see what they're eating. And they have what I call a dessert salad because if your salad is lettuce with a bunch of like sliced ham, a bunch of
mhm.
cheese, topped with a
Yeah.
bunch of ranch dressing, that's a dessert
Mhm,
salad
Mm.
because that's about the amount of calories of a big dessert or maybe more.
mhm,
Because
Mm.
you got the fat from the cheese, the fat
Mm.
from the ham, the fat from
mhm,
the ranch dressing, and then you got a little bit of lettuce at the bottom. So,
Sounds about right.
yeah. So you gotta and ham, sliced up ham, that's not really a quality protein. Like when you think of a salad with quality protein, you want to think of things like chicken breast or salmon or steak. I know people like shrimp on their salad, that's high in
They do?
sodium.
I know that.
Hmm.
A lot of people like shrimp on their salad.
I'm not a big shrimp fan.
But all that other stuff is extra. And then there's a difference in quality lettuce too. That water lettuce is what I call it, iceberg. There is no
Iceberg, yep.
nutritional value
Yep.
in that
Right.
lettuce.
Hmm.
But if
Yeah.
you eat things like romaine lettuce
Romaine.
or the mixed greens where they have arugula and all the other different types of green leafy vegetables, that's where your nutrients are.
Yeah.
For me, romaine lettuce is just like a garnish of sorts. Something you sprinkle on the top of a burger, something you sprinkle on top of a taco. Not
Romaine?
something. Romaine. Romaine lettuce has
Well, that's
absolutely no
fine, but
nutritional value
well,
besides
that's fine,
water.
but that's fine.
No, not romaine, iceberg. Romaine is fine. I meant
Yeah.
iceberg. Romaine lettuce is fine. But iceberg, water. That's it. No vitamins, no nutrients, none of that stuff that an actual green leafy vegetable would do. And sometimes you'll have salads with like broccoli in it. That's good. Carrots, I don't like carrots, but for those who do. Tomatoes, I don't like tomatoes, but those who do. Cucumbers, I absolutely love. You know, things like that. That would be considered a more meal-worthy salad. And unless it's like on the side dish of something, like you have a main dish of like pot roast or something, or baked potato and steak or whatever, and you have a side salad. But if it's romaine, I mean not romaine, if it's iceberg lettuce, it's like defeat the purpose. so so
Yeah.
just be mindful of that. Anybody else have any challenges they want to unpack? No? I answered them all?
I would
Okay.
say the not eating enough, and then it's like you said, not eating enough, and then the portion control later because I didn't.
Yeah, it gotta
Yeah.
happen because I
Yeah,
didn't eat much.
and then the exactly what uh too much of one thing and not enough of another.
Hmm. Yeah, but and the reason why you end up overeating later on because you didn't eat enough during the day because you have starved your body, like literally starved your body all day. And it's like, so you gonna feed me or what?
Right.
And then you're like super hungry. And then you feel
Yeah.
like you gotta make up for all of the meals you missed during the day.
Right. Yeah. And I didn't used to do that, but when I was told about the whole scheduling thing, to where I was told exactly what the schedule was going to be, like breakfast, obviously as soon as after I'm done getting dressed, but then lunch at 3, dinner at 8. So that's 5 hours. But if I guess
But you can have
the
snacks
option,
in between those
right,
though. Okay.
right. But I originally that wasn't said until later.
Well,
I
it
didn't
don't.
think.
Well, it doesn't have to be said. Like if you, so if you have a schedule of breakfast as soon as you wake up, one, it depends on when you wake up. And then if your lunch is at, would you say 3?
3.
That's a late lunch. But if lunch is at 3 and dinner is at 8, that is a big gap in between. So you want to have snacks in between those gaps.
Yeah.
So me personally, I have 3 meals, 2 snacks every day. And um my snacks consist of Greek yogurt with fruit or Greek yogurt with granola and fruit. And then sometimes it'll be a protein shake with like a fig bar or a protein shake with some fruit. in between those other meals. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna be pretty hungry. I wish I would wait from breakfast to 3 to eat. I would be so hungry. I would not do that to myself. And your metabolism isn't gonna speed up eating like that either.
I,
So
I,
you,
I, act- I actually get sick sometimes. It starts feeling sick if I haven't eaten
yeah,
my food.
Yeah,
because
I
your
do
blood
too.
sugar,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't go. That's a long time from breakfast to 3. Even when you work for somebody, you have lunch around 11, 12 o'clock.
Right.
1 o'clock the latest. So
Right.
3 o'clock, that's really when you should be having a snack, not lunch.
Right.
So, um, so yeah, that's how you would navigate that if those are your meal times. Because like when I was in the military, and Miss Kathy can attest to this, you have certain times that you eat, right?
Right.
And when you in basic training, you don't get no snacks. You eat when they tell you to eat. And I used to get yelled at because they wanted me to eat more. And I don't care who you are, you're not forcing food down my throat unless you wanted to come back up on you. So, I would only put on my plate what I could eat, or if they just put it on my plate, I would eat what I was able to eat and be done.
Did you have the
E-
option of packing the rest for later?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Not in the military, child. Please
no.
no. Packing the rest for later, child. That's civilian life.
Oh,
Military life is a lot like jail life, if you ask me. Am I exaggerating, Miss Kathy?
No, every minute is accounted for.
Yes, everything is accounted for. And we got another military veteran popping in, Miss Thelma. She's a newbie.
Miss
Yeah.
Thelma.
Yep. Hey, Miss Thelma.
Hello, I made it
Hey.
finally.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey.
you made it. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah. Well, this is the same link every week, so
Okay.
you could use it. But we were just talking about how the military with food, how we didn't get to choose what time we ate, and we ate when they told us to eat, and we didn't take no food home. And
Yeah.
and my son was asking if the military, I mean, if we were allowed to take food. I said no. I said the that's civilian life. Military life is very similar to jail life, if you ask me. And I don't even think Am I exaggerating? I don't think I'm exaggerating. The way they do the structuring of the meals in basic training, especially, you don't get
Yeah.
that option. Yeah.
Yeah. The only
So
time if you got to sneak it was those times when occasionally, which were they were far and few between, they would allow you to go to the store to get
yep, that would be it.
some things you needed, and you might sneak and buy a little something because our cargo pants had those big pockets.
Yep. You could hide anything in their pockets. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, before we move forward, we were talking about challenges that you might face with nutrition. Do you have any challenges you face with nutrition, Miss Thelma?
Really, I actually eat. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm on this phone. I just
It's
downloaded it.
okay.
No, I actually eat pretty good. I eat a lot of seafood, and like today, I'm gonna make me a Reuben, and I'm gonna cook some Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Um, and my Reuben on rye with Swiss cheese. St. Patrick's Day, and I'm gonna have a Guinness beer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, you know, that's not in the plan, but she gonna have it.
Okay, that's my nutritional problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that sounds good. You said Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna slice them real thin, and then
Hmm.
I haven't figured it out yet. They're frozen right now, and put some onion and little bacon in there, and just that's my meal for today.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, now we're going to talk about the heart of the session today. And we might go a little over just because I don't know what it is with nutrition when we have these topics. I never stay within the hour because I just have so many nuggets and I literally could talk about nutrition all day. So I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long, but we already spent 45 minutes talking about the challenges. So But let's get into the heart of today's session. I do want to say that many people approach fat loss with a restriction mindset. Like I said before, they think eat less, skip meals, avoid carbs, push through hunger. And I know based on what we talked about with challenges, that sounds like a few of you, right? But this approach usually leads to fatigue, intense craving, overeating later. Like Isaiah said, when he don't eat enough during the day, he overeats later. Metabolism slowing down, right? And burnout. So instead, we're going to focus on fueling your body properly while still creating fat loss. So let me tell you why starving yourself doesn't work. Y'all ready? So when you drastically cut calories, like I said earlier, your body goes into survival mode. Your metabolism slows down to conserve energy. Did y'all know that calories is equivalent to energy? Okay. Yes, calories is equivalent to energy. So if you are not eating calories, which is equivalent to energy, your metabolism is going to slow down to conserve it. And this can cause lower energy availability, increased hunger hormones, muscle loss, and slower fat loss. So eventually, and this happens to a lot of people, many people end up binge eating or quitting their program altogether because they're allowing their life to take over of the fact that they need to eat. When I was working in the office, one thing I had was a non-negotiable is no, y'all don't get in between my food. You got what, 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute or hour break, depending on what job you had. I ate on every single break. I ate snacks on my 15s. Sometimes I ate lunch on my 15 so I could walk on my 30. But I ate on every single break. So I would eat my first 15, I would eat a snack. Of course, I had breakfast before I got there. 15-minute break, I ate a snack. Next 15-minute break, I ate my lunch. And then my 30-minute break, I used 15 minutes of that to eat a snack, and then I went for a walk. And that's what I did on every job. I didn't skip my breaks and work through my breaks like I hear some people say, oh, I worked through my break. Why? Why? Especially people who work in the healthcare system, they work through their breaks. Absolutely not. I'm eating. I'm taking time away from these patients, and I'm going to fuel myself so I can get through the rest of my day. So that's why the goal is not to eat as little as possible. The goal is to eat strategically. And I gave y'all a few strategies, right? That were helpful. So this is how you build your fat loss nutrition foundation. Fat loss happens when calorie intake is controlled while nutrition quality stays high. Remember when I was saying earlier that you can be having a good nutrition quality, but you can still overconsume the right foods? And that's where portion control comes in. So you need to be able to control your calorie intake, like the portion size of the high quality food that you're eating. And you do this by tracking your food consistently, whether it is using a tracking app, going off the palm fist thumb method, making sure you hit your protein goals daily, staying within your calorie range, drinking enough water, and choosing nutrient-dense foods, not iceberg lettuce. Right? So the goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Because like I said before, it's okay to enjoy yourself. Some people like to drink beer and wine on the weekends or whenever. You're not going to drink it every day. Some people like to have cheesecake, ice cream. You're not going to eat that every day. And sometimes you might have a slip up here and there. That's called life. But the main thing is to be consistent when you eat the right things. Eat more of the right things than not. I always say 80-20. How many of y'all, type 1 in the chat if y'all have ever heard me say that the rule of thumb is 80-20. And if you never heard me say it, how many of you all can believe that that is a thing? I love it. So the goal is always consistency, not perfection. If you expect, there was only one person ever on this earth to be perfect, one. And even he was tempted. So what makes you think you're going to be perfect? Right?
Right.
So now I'm going to tell you guys the power of protein, because there are some people out there who think that protein, or that there's a such thing as too much protein, and that protein is bad. Where they got that from, I have yet to know. But protein is one of the most important nutrients for fat loss. I'm going to say that one more time. Protein is one of the most important nutrients for fat loss. Why? Because it helps preserve muscle. Isaiah, take notes if you need to. Preserve muscle, increase fullness, support metabolism, and improve recovery. So if you don't get enough protein, you will feel hungry all the time. Your priority should be protein and fiber. Where do you get your fibers from? Where do you get your fibers from?
Fruits and veggies.
Thank you. I was like, I know y'all ain't shrugging y'all shoulders. Where you get your fiber from?
Fruits and veggies.
Fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
So those are the two things you should be prioritizing: protein and fiber.
And what was the benefits of
I'm going to put it
protein
in the
guys again?
chat.
Okay.
And it's just very important because a lot of people don't understand that. So when you think about a house, and I say this all the time, do you think you can really have a house without the foundation of that house? Y'all remember the story of the 3 little pigs?
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 dummy pigs who thought their house was going to stand up on some straws and some dirt?
Mm-hmm.
But you had the one smart pig that was like, let me build this foundation with some bricks, which is protein, before I build up everything else. Protein is the foundation, the building block of your body. Your skin, your nails, your hair. Protein. If you have frail skin, frail hair, think about how much protein are you consuming.
Mhm.
Okay? So this is why prioritizing protein can help you feel satisfied while still losing fat. And if you are unsure of what protein is, some examples of protein sources are lean meats like chicken, turkey, white fish. By white fish, I mean things like flounder, tilapia. I don't like tilapia, but that is considered a white fish. It's so many different ones that's like running in my head at one time. But those are considered lean meats. Also eggs, different other type of fish like salmon. You got cod, that's a white fish. You know, you got snapper. So also Greek yogurt, protein shakes, black beans, red beans, kidney beans. And yes. Huh? Yeah, he loved baked beans, but yeah. So protein is fuel for weight loss.
Okay.
Y'all got it? Protein is fuel for weight loss, and it is the number one most important macronutrient.
Okay.
Not carbs and not fat. You need carbs and fat, yes, because that's where your energy comes from. The carbs give you your energy. The fat supports your hormone. But we're not talking about cakes and pies fat. We're talking about fat like almonds, nuts, seeds, olive oil,
The healthy fats.
the healthy fats, avocado,
Right.
things like that. So here's how you balance your meals to prevent overeating. Instead of restricting food, aim to balance your meals. And a balanced plate looks something like this: protein, which is at the top, as always, because it keeps you full. Fiber, didn't I say protein and fiber?
Yes, ma'am.
Fiber rich foods like fruits and vegetables. Carbohydrates gives you energy for training, working out, for doing whatever you do, gardening, whatever it is that you do. Carbohydrates will give you energy for that. And healthy fats support your hormones.
Yeah.
Okay? And when your meals include these components, your blood sugars will stay more stable and your cravings will decrease. So when you fix your plate, if you happen to go to an all-you-can-eat spot or you're ordering your food at a restaurant, make sure that your main priority to look for on that menu is what protein am I going to consume with my meal today. I often order things a la carte because I'm so picky and I might not want everything on a thing, but the first thing I order is my protein. And if I happen, which it doesn't happen often, but sometimes when I go to brunch or something, I may crave pancakes, depending on the time of the month it is. And I'll crave pancakes, but I'm always going to have some eggs with it. I don't like breakfast. I'm not a huge fan of breakfast sausage, so I always do eggs. Like some people will do pancakes, eggs, and breakfast sausage. I don't really like breakfast sausage, so I don't get it. But I always have eggs. Sometimes I'll get 3 because I'm not eating the breakfast sausage. But always have a source of protein on your plate. And the goal is satisfaction, not deprivation. So if you like rice, have it. But make sure it's followed up with some source of protein. Right?
Yeah.
So let's take a moment to reflect. Think about your nutrition habits over the past week and ask yourself these questions. Am I fueling my body enough? Am I prioritizing protein? Am I tracking consistently? And am I eating balanced meals? So we're going to do an exercise. You're going to type 1. I'm going to ask the questions again individually to give y'all a chance to answer. If the answer is yes, you're going to type 1. If the answer is no, you're going to type 2. Okay? So first question, thinking about the past week. Am I fueling my body enough? Type 1 or 2 in the chat.
Messed up. Can't get. Let me see. I got real bad. Give me a second. I got lost.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I'm getting it now. Trying to get to the keyboard. Thank you.
Okay. Looks good. So the next question, am I prioritizing protein?
Okay.
All right. Am I tracking consistently, whether it's with your hand measurements or with an app? All right, last question. Am I eating balanced meals? All right. So I appreciate you guys for participating in this exercise. Now reflect on your answers. If any of your answers were 2, then you know what area you want to refocus your nutrition habits this week. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that we've talked about nutrition strategy, let's bring everything back to the bigger picture. Okay? So fat loss success comes from stacking consistent habits over time. This is why I always give you guys things that you need to work towards habit-wise, especially when you first start in the program. So the game plan should always be this, and I say it every week, and I will continue to say it every week. The first thing, track your food. This is the core game plan. Track your food, hit your calorie and protein targets, drink 100 to 100 ounces of water daily, move intentionally for 45 to 60 minutes, resistance train 3 to 5 times a week daily, and restful sleep for 7 to 9 hours. Sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So these habits help support your metabolism, recovery, and fat loss progress. Okay? So remember, one off-plan meal does not ruin your progress.
No.
But don't take that one off-plan meal and be like, oh, it ain't ruined my progress. I can have another one. Because then that another one going to turn to another one, and then another one, and then you're going to be like, what happened? Right?
Yeah.
So what matters is what you do most of the time. What was the percentage?
80.
80.
80-20. 80-20. So I oftentimes hear from people who are having an interview with me about joining the program. They're telling me the 20% of what they eat. I don't want to hear that. I need you to be honest with me, and I'm going to dig. Because be honest. Remember we talked about our whys? Be honest. Why are you really on this phone with me? Are you on this phone with me because of the good stuff you eat?
Hey.
Or are you on this phone with me because of what you know you shouldn't be eating that you're eating a lot of? Or you might not even really know how to structure your meals properly because you don't know what you don't know. Be real, because I'm gonna pry it out of you. So, and keep in mind that consistency beats perfection every time. Every time. So this is my favorite part of the call, and I did well. I only went over by 3 minutes. I thought I was gonna go crazy. Well, I can literally talk about nutrition all day. So this is my favorite part of the call where we open up and talk about what stood out most from today's session. So let's hear it. What did you learn about today's call? What stood out?
All right. Let's see here. To portion your food and to eat more, but the only way to really eat more is to be active more, whatever activity you want to do, as long as it's active, because you can't really get yourself to eat more if you don't have any reason to eat more. You know, like you're not gonna burn any fuel if you don't have anything to burn. And then you're not gonna want to burn any fuel if you don't move. So, will not burn any
If
fuel
you
if you
don't
don't have a
eat.
reason. You don't eat food, yeah. So the
That's
only
good.
way to eat food is to be active for at least an hour, at least like 30 minutes
30
to
minutes.
actually get yourself to want to eat more food and then be consistent with it. Because you don't gotta be perfect, but as long as you're consistent, it'll help you out. Now, consistency can also take a turn for the worse if you're consistent with the wrong sort of things. Because it doesn't take long to relearn a bad habit, but it does take long to master a good one. So like it's got to kind of consistent with your stuff you be doing. But yeah.
Good job. Come on, Sponge. You picked all of that up. Come on, Sponge. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That mean I did good. All right. Anybody else want to share their takeaway? Well, actually, I'm gonna ask everybody because it's not a big call. So I would love anybody else who want to share.
You wants to
Yep,
share?
yep,
I
yep.
got you. Mhm.
What you
So,
got, Isaiah?
I got the reiteration about the protein being the most important macronutrient, which I already knew anyway, but it's the reinforcing that just with because of what I've been told at home about too much too much of anything isn't good, but it's not too much
It
protein
can't be
because
too much if it's not enough.
right, exactly.
It just can't be.
And then the uh portion control thing because of not eating enough throughout the day. So uh structuring your day to eat enough so you don't indulge um too much later.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then that also affecting your energy
Mm-hmm.
because your food fuels you to have enough energy to work out and then anything else you might be doing throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole uh movement thing as well helps with energy because having a sedentary lifestyle is not going to benefit you.
Come on, sponge
So
number two.
so
That's good.
yeah.
All right. Look, come. I think I did all right. All right, Miss Kathy, what you got? I'm just going on the order I see the screen. I know Miss Kathy learned a lot, especially with that deep breath.
Um,
Huh?
um, just what you've already been teaching me. You have to you have to care about what you really want in order to do it, and you have to constantly work at it.
Yep, that's very true. It's all about showing up.
Mhm. Mhm.
You can show up imperfect, but as long as you show up.
Okay.
And essentially, when you show up imperfect, who you showing up for?
Yourself.
Self.
Yourself.
Yourself. You're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for anybody else. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm doing this in honor of so and so." No, you might have that person in the back of your mind as a motivator, but you're doing it for yourself because you're the one reaping the benefit of it, not that other person.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Thanks for sharing, Miss Kathy. What about you, Mama Francis? What you got?
Good mother.
On mute here. Plan, plan, plan.
Yeah,
We
I
set
kind of
the
harped on that one, didn't
we set the time for a workout. An hour for a workout. You can set the time for planning,
you can.
and then
Absolutely.
you track, track, track.
That too, that too, that too.
Yes.
Routine is like gassing up. Put it in a
Yeah.
jar so you can get up and go.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's
I
the
love it.
fuel for the day. That's your
Hmm.
fuel.
Yep.
And then the
Absolutely.
carbs, that's your energy. That's what energizes you, gives you the energy to move. So, yes.
Yay. Thanks for sharing. What about you, Miss Thelma? Were you able to get anything out of today's lesson?
Yes, even though I was late coming
It's
in, but
okay.
yeah, but no, always I'm this is my first time joining you all and thank you.
No
Just
problem.
to prioritize your like you say, you gotta feed yourself starting morning, whether it's I like avocado toast in the
Mm-hmm.
mornings and I
Mm-hmm.
do eat a lot of boiled eggs and yogurt. That's my
Mm-hmm.
breakfast. And I eat bacon as well. And like I say, when I get off, I'm gonna fix my brunch lunch, so to speak, a Reuben sandwich and Brussels sprouts. And I got a lot out of, I try to eat right. I really do. And I try
Okay.
not to eat too late, so I'm getting there. It's a
Yeah.
process.
And it's all, and like I say, it's not about perfection. It's
Right.
a process. So it's
Yeah.
just about being intentional. You know
Hmm.
what you need to do, being intentional about it, and being consistent with that intention.
Yep.
Because there are going to be times where you want something different, and that's okay. But just as long as that intent is there, like, okay, I'm enjoying myself, I'm eating what I need to enjoy myself. Like Miss Kathy was telling me during the holiday season, she didn't feel the need to stuff her plate with everything. She was like, okay, I want this, this, and this, and I had this and I was satisfied. And she, in that moment, realized her growth because of it, right? And that's what it's all about. Once that intent is there, then you can master the rest. But it's never going to be perfect. You just
Right.
gonna you got to be intentional. You got to understand why you're doing it, and that's something for you to dig deep inside yourself to find out that why, and then execute. And then remember, you're not doing this for nobody but yourself. Your
Right.
body is the one benefiting from this. Your life is the one benefiting from this, not mine. I'm just giving you the keys to the kingdom to be able to understand how to do it properly so you can succeed. That's why I'm here, but you're not doing it for me.
Hmm. It's true.
So once you remember that, you'll be good to go. So as you know, I always assign homework and I will post it in the group. But I'll go ahead and read what it says. So we are doing a nutrition refocus challenge. I'm gonna read off the guide, your game plan, your core game plan, and you're gonna
Hmm.
choose one habit that you need to improve on. So tracking your food daily, hitting your protein goal each day, drinking 100 ounces of water or half your body weight, but never exceeding a gallon, building balanced meals, or preparing your meals ahead of time. Of those, you need to choose which habit you want to improve.
What?
If it's more than one, you can do that, but the assignment is one.
Okay.
Can I like say something real quick? I think a thing I learned is though we can multitask at things, our brains aren't really built for that. And I won't say
It's,
like we can, but we're not built for it. It's easier for our brains to grapple on to certain subjects or things and keep them in there for use if we focus on one task at hand, especially if you're trying to learn something. That's why when you're being taught, they they might teach you a bunch of different subjects, but it's up to you to grapple onto one thing you think will benefit you at the moment and practice it for a little bit just to have it in your head. And you can't just like try and study it. You also have to do it in your day to day to just like get it in habit. And
yep.
then once you think you gotta grapple on that, then you can move on to the next thing. So it's all right to like have different things you want to learn, write it down, but like focus on one thing at a time. At least that's what helps me. But yeah.
It's true across the board. A lot of and that's why, and I'm glad you said that because that's why my assignments say choose one. Because it's easy for us to be like, just one? I need to work on all of them. But just pick one because when you master that one, then that one will be second nature and then you can move on to the next one. But it's hard to master several things at one time.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So you'll have the list, but choose one. Once you got a handle on that one that you feel like you've dropped the ball in, then you can add something else. And if you end up dropping the ball, that means you need to go back to that one again.
Mhm.
Make sense? Y'all hear
Yeah.
this big brain son I got?
Look. You better preach, bro. You better preach.
So I really appreciate you guys for showing up today. That's all for today's session, but I do want to remind you of something before I let you go. Fat loss does not require starvation. Your body needs fuel to perform and recover. Protein, balanced meals, and consistency drive progress. And smart nutrition always beats extreme dieting. So your goal is not to eat less, your goal is to eat smarter. So before we wrap up, I would love if you guys would drop one word in the chat, just one, that describes how you want to feel from your nutrition when your nutrition is finally on track. One word. If you have trouble typing it, you can verbalize it. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I can't type.
It's okay.
More motivated.
Motivated. Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good. Okay, Mama Francis said healthy. I love it.
Mhm.
Zach said consistency. Okay. Isaiah said energize. And Kathy said better. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys again for showing up today and thank you for trusting the process. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week for another webinar where we will continue to build stronger habits and making progress towards your goal. Next week, we are going to be talking about why you fall off and how to get back on track faster. So, keep on moving forward, keep on making this year great, and y'all have the most wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
All
You're
right.
You
welcome.
likewise.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.